Hey, this channel is Learning Again with Truly Jacob, a writer. Again, Truly Jacob, a writer is my pen, writing, and media name, so you probably won't see my face today. I'm going to give a review of How to Draw Under the Sea for Kids by Allie. Is it Coach or Koch or something like that? Again, I'm having problems with this language because to me it seems like it really is a cursed language because everything I do in it, it's very, very difficult. So they give you the basis of technically if you bought this for your kid, that's what I would suggest, is that you buy it so that way you can do tracing in the book, and because if you try to draw it by hand, I literally put one of here's how you begin to draw the shell and stuff like that, and then and so it's here's the shell or whatever. So I mean, and obviously my version by hand is not that beautiful. So to get in the beginning, I think my assessment is when you take a writing class, when you're learning how to write as a little kid, they give you a book and you're trace the letters, trace the numbers in this font. Well, they didn't let me pick the font because probably what I would have done is picked a prettier font. So literally I feel like they gave me a font was this is man's handwriting or this is a boy's handwriting style. And so literally, because I didn't get to pick my fonts of here are your options of learning how to write, literally my handwriting in print and in cursive, I would say it looks more like a boy's handwriting. So my assessment is if you're wanting to learn how to be precise, you need this, you need a piece of paper that's you do this 100 times and you just trace over the line because you're learning how to be more precise with your lines. And then same here, you would need this 100 times and then this 100 times and then the whole thing trace over all the lines 100 times to be able to just draw this perfectly. And then you keep adding, but you literally need to trace over the line. So technically this shows you the steps of how to make a basic shell, but it's not going to teach you how to perfect that shape because you literally need something where it's trace over the line, trace over the line, trace over the line, trace over the line, because you have to get good, because literally this was eyeballing it, and as you can see, they're all warped in shapes. So but I felt like it was a good book for beginners if you're wanting to learn how to draw the basics. But again, here's a penguin. It would have been better if you could just trace over everything. And then here you go. Here's me trying to be do I ever want to draw this again? And they all looked warped. And then they're you can do different designs. And so I was trying to do different designs. And it, literally, they all looked warped. And so here is a seal. Okay. And then again, you have me trying to do this. And they all look warped. But again, I was trying to do different designs. to try to make it fun, and it just looks bad. So again, and then also it seemed like it would take me hours and hours just to get through one page, or like at least an hour or half an hour tops to get through one page, and then it would like tire me out, because it's like I'm having to learn how to do this myself, and it's like everything I do looks warped, so I wasn't able to get through all of the pages. And it's like, am I in a cursed environment where someone cursed me so much that I can't even learn how to draw? Because, like, why is it taking me this long to do a picture? So again, what I would do is, if I were a parent, I would literally take this, figure out how to photocopy this and change the lines so they're all gray, and you just have your kid like trace over everything hundreds and hundreds of times to learn how to draw all this stuff. Because to me, that's the beginning of learning how to draw, is you copy someone else's basic shape of something. But I wish I had time to go through the whole book, because that is something I'm interested in, is drawing. But it's like, well, it's time to go back to the library and return books. So yeah, overall it's good, but I would probably design it a little bit differently, where it's like, yeah, trace all these lines. Get used to like controlling your pencil or your pen. Trace, use markers, use crayon, whatever, make them bigger for crayon. Trace, even trace with paint, right? So you get used to working with different art supplies. So that is what I would do. So overall, it is a good book, but literally, if you borrow it from the library, you can't write in it. So know your so that means you would need to like photocopy it for the purpose of like, okay, I need my kid to be able to learn how to draw, and I have free material from the, a library. So I don't know, but I would have liked to learn how to draw all this, but it's just like everything's turning out so warped looking. Like, this is supposed to be a beluga whale, and I couldn't get the shapes right. And then it's like a narwhal, like I couldn't get the shapes right, and here's like my version of a killer whale or whatever, and it's not coming. And then this is supposed to be a walrus, and it's like, I literally could not get it to look like a normal walrus, because literally I'm at the level where I really need to trace everything. So I don't have unlimited supplies and unlimited money to be able to do that. So it's like, okay, I tried to learn how to draw myself again. So it's like, I need more time, and I literally would need a photocopier to be able to do everything myself, because I guess I'm a perfectionist and I want things to look a certain way. Like, okay, let's go to the walrus page. Okay, so yes, I want my walrus to look like that, not like that. Like, I couldn't get this curve right for some reason. So again, am I living in a super cursed environment? well, I've tried speaking blessings over my life to get rid of all of the curses, and like nothing seems to be working. So is someone like cursing me to the point where I can't even learn how to draw a cartoon version of a walrus? So again, I guess we live in this cursed environment. It's a good beginning book to learn how to draw these basic shapes. You need probably teenagers. Check this out of the library because you can't write in the book. So yeah, overall, this is a good book for kids or teenagers or even adults if you want to learn the basics of how to draw certain animals, uh, or, whatever these things are. So, uh, underwater sea creatures. Okay. So I hope you liked this video. Sorry if in all my videos I complain about being cursed or things being so difficult, because literally I took art class in high school and literally I needed to basically there was I took pictures from National Geographic and I tried to copy the picture, and that was like literally the only way I could sort of draw decently. But I swear one picture took like 6 hours or more to try to get all the details and to learn how to shade properly, and then like one page just copying the instructions of like, here's your basic shape of how to draw this animal or underwater sea creature. It's like it took like a whole hour just to get this done. So again, am like there must be something wrong with my development or something, where it's like everything I do takes way too long to do. And so I literally need way more time to learn. Like, I really feel like I should go back and start at the age 0 and be given a different language in the pure form or something, where it's like, these are the proper words, this is the whole letters of the alphabet, these are the proper sounds of each letter, here you go, learn to speak the language completely over. But whenever I talk to anybody, they're like, the language isn't cursed, everything's fine, this is real life, everything's hunky-dory, it is how it is, the world's never gonna change and get better, it's only gonna get worse. Well, why can't we make this world a better place? Why can't we figure out what words actually work and bless us and make our lives better, and just speak those words only? So I don't know why that's not happening. So again, I tried to learn how to draw. Maybe I'll try later down the road. It is fun. It can be relaxing. But this pretty much took me like an hour at times to do just one page, or trying to do 2 pages. And like then I was drained of energy, and then I didn't want to do anything else. So I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to make the best of every situation. I'm trying to learn as I'm able to. But sometimes you may not be able to do everything that you want to do. So make the best of the situation. So I'm giving my review. And overall, I would say this is a really good book. The other idea I came to my head was when I was trying to draw, where it says how to draw under the sea for kids. Could there be something wrong with the title, where it's like technically maybe the original author, their intention was, or maybe they knew how to actually have ink and pens and pencils and books that are like waterproof that you can draw on. And then there's like some kind of special ink in the universe somewhere where it's like, oh, this book is actually supposed to be designed for if you're learning how to draw, you're actually supposed to be able to do it in the water. Or if you're in the tub and the tub is filled with water, you're supposed to be able to take this book and literally draw under the water in it. So that was an idea that came to my head. I have no idea where I'm getting all these ideas. But I mean, maybe it's like I'm thinking and I'm in a creative mood, or I'm like wanting to design and come up with more things, or maybe I'm just really bored with living in this warped environment and world where there's like harm that happens to different individuals. So, but yeah, that was like an idea of like, is there something that like if you collected supplies under the water, is there some kind of special ink under the water and some kind of special material that you could turn into paper where it's like under the water, it's like waterproof, and then you can draw under the water? That would be so cool. And then you could learn how to draw on land under the water, you know? So again, is technology going to increase where we figure out where all the proper supplies are of everything and use them in a proper way? So again, who knows if that technology ain't exists, but again, I have the gift of imagination, so maybe my imagination was working a little bit and I was like being creative, like, wouldn't this be cool if this existed? So it was probably my imagination, because the drawing was taking too long and too much of an effort, and I only have warped images where it's like you can't tell a seal or a walrus is a seal or whatever. So I tried my best. So do I need an art class? Well, technically in high school, I went to a Christian high school. It was a boarding Christian high school, and I only got one art class my junior year. To get good at art, you really need to start at an elementary level and then go all the way up through high school to get really, really good at it. But because it was a private school, that meant like in that Christian denomination, it was self-supporting, so they cared more about science and math and learning this warped language that I speak, and Shakespeare and reading certain stories and stuff. So I wasn't able to just pick what I really wanted to focus on and actually get good at it. So, otherwise I'd probably be really good at art because it is an interest of mine. So I did the best I could, but literally I didn't get to do a bunch of fun activities because literally all the other stuff was like they piled so much work on me, didn't give me enough time to really think about things, and I didn't really like being in school. It wasn't fun, so I spent time, like probably thousands and thousands of hours daydreaming as my pastime, because like daydreaming didn't take really any effort, and it was like, here, create a story in your head. So I didn't write the story down, but I like created, like I literally would go over 3 stories over and over and over and over and over again, and in different ways, and it was like trying to find the ending. So it's like I did the best to learn, but literally one time, like I was trying to develop, they said, write this story, and they're like, use adjective words and, write this story and be descriptive and stuff like that. So I tried to do that, and literally someone told me, oh, your story isn't that good or whatever. And I was just a kid. And so it didn't motivate me to get better. They're like, it's not that good, you know, like, and they were the teacher. They were the teacher. It's not that good. Okay. So it didn't encourage me to continue learning how to write better and write in a way where you tell this awesome, amazing, interesting story. And sometimes in books, you do need the descriptive stuff because otherwise you don't know what's going on. So again, great book, but I would do it a little bit differently. Literally, I need to trace everything like 100 times, or who knows, maybe even 1,000 times to get better at doing all these shapes with pen, pencil, or different mediums. And so sometimes you may need different sizes of things. But again, that's how I would do it if you're wanting a child to start at an elementary level and learn how to draw all from scratch. If you don't know how to draw, isn't that where you start them? These are the basic shapes, and then you can tweak it, and then once you know how to do the basic shapes and you kind of know how to do that by heart, then it's you can see a picture and you're like, oh, this is the basic shape of this. And then it's you learn how to do more oh, here's a picture of this shot in the water or whatever. And there's a level of, here is the beginning stuff. Here's intermediate, here's medium or intermediate, and here's difficult, and then here's really, really hard. Here's extreme, really, really hard to get all these details. So but the beginning process of learning how to draw so you could just be able to draw or paint the landscape of how you see it is you literally have to copy a picture or a photograph. So yeah, I can go on and on and on. Hopefully you like this rant. And again, this is me sharing my difficulty of how hard it is for me to learn. I really want to learn. I wish it was easy. I really feel like I need to go back to school and start at the age of 0 or something. Because my parents didn't know how to start me at the age of 0, apparently. And they were never parents before. So it is what it is, and trying to make the best of life. I wish I could even get paid to go back and start at the age of 0 and be like, hey, if you want to teach a someone a child or a baby that is 0 years of age, what would you teach a 0-year-old? What would you teach a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old? What can you start teaching them? And then you have to review it when they start getting their mind comprehension. What would you teach a child at different ages until they can master it? And then if they forget something, then review. To me, there wasn't enough review in elementary school or even high school. It's oh, learn this one time, you'll remember it. Okay, well, obviously I didn't remember everything, so you need to review. And literally, when you're a child, right, you're motivated by your teacher. If you're responsible for teaching yourself, that means it's you really need to be at the adult level where it's I'm committed to learning this myself. So that means you really need homeschool materials. So I'm not even sure how to get the proper homeschool materials. But literally, my parents paid for a Christian education from elementary school all the way to high school for me, and then the first year of college. And then I was on my own. It's I'm sorry, we spent all our money on you for elementary school and high school, so now you don't have money to help pay for college for you. You're on your own. You have to figure it out yourself. So that also made it so, yeah, I didn't get a 4-year degree. Surprise, surprise. So I'm trying to do my best to learn to re-educate myself, to figure out what can I learn myself on my own. And I keep finding out it's like really difficult if you don't have a teacher. And it's like I'm responsible for teaching everything myself on my own. And that's how it felt kind of like in elementary school. In high school, you're on your own. You have to figure out how to learn this on your own. They didn't help me figure out what my learning style was. And they all, like, literally all they taught, how they taught was lecture, 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 lecture. Here's a video, lecture, 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 lecture. No science experiments to give you the hands-on practical experience of, oh, this is how the science works in the world that you live in. So again, sorry for going on and on, but like, I'm very frustrated at the education system. I feel I got the raw end of the deal, so to speak, of, like, I trusted my teachers to teach me in a proper way, and they didn't. And so it's like, how am I supposed to support myself in the future? How am I supposed to earn and make money and live? I don't know how to support myself. I don't have the ability to support myself because of the society that we live in. So again, doing the best I can. Did enjoy this book. Wish I could have been able to draw all the pictures however long it took. I think I had this book for about like 2 to 3 months checked out from the library. So hopefully this helps a parent in the future if you're not sure what to do to begin helping your kid learn how to draw. But seriously, if you have little kids, you really need to photocopy these pictures and then just have them trace over it. Otherwise, the book will get messed up. So until next time, if you have any books you want me to review that teach kids how to learn or whatever, feel free to put them in the comment section, because I'm starting a book list. So until next time, feel free to like and subscribe to this channel if you liked this video.